Hello, everyone. So I am now joined by our cosplay guest, G.Sus. Welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Um, so I'm just going to ask you a few questions, very relaxed, very chill. But before I really go into them, do you want to just give a short, quick introduction of who you are and what you do?
My name is Grace, but I go by G.Sus. That's my cosplay name, my Instagram handle, my TikTok handle. So I'm a cosplayer. I started really recently, about like 4 months ago. But I've been an anime fan. I wish I grew up with it, but I've been an anime fan since about like 2018. I watched one and then I became like this. So like huge anime fan. And I was like it would be cool to bring this to life, right? So and then I went to an anime convention and I was like, the cosplayers were cool, like it was cool vibes, like I want to try it. And so I started months ago and it's a lifestyle now. So
I love that. So you did start, so you just said you started about 4 months ago, so you're relatively new to the cosplay scene here.
yeah.
Um,
hmm
so tell us a bit more about getting into it and how that was for you. And what was your first cosplay?
Okay, so first cosplay was Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. Have you seen Jujutsu Kaisen?
I have not. People keep telling me
Oh
to
my god.
watch
It's
it.
so good. It's so good. So yeah, first cosplay was Gojo. Because I knew I wanted to cosplay. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I was gonna go to the anime convention by myself. But then I like befriended this really cool guy. We were kind of talking about cosplaying, and he's really similar to the character Nanami that's in the show too. And Gojo and Nanami are like best friends. And I said, listen, if you cosplay Nanami, I will cosplay Gojo. And he was like, bet, say less. So that was my first cosplay. It was super fun. Girl, my wig was horrible because I had no idea what I was doing because a wig will cosplay. But it was still fun. So yeah, that was my first cosplay. And it was also the first one that I put online, like on Instagram. And then I just kind of started exploring, finding other cosplayers because it's like a club, low key. It's like there's a group of especially like PC cosplayers. Um, they're like a couple girls and guys too, but I guess the ones that I follow and are mostly women or like they non-binary. But um, but yeah, and it's just a whole bunch of really talented people cosplaying, putting their own spins on these characters, and I was inspired. So I just kind of started looking at that because a big part of cosplaying is editing too. So I've been, trying to improve my editing skills. There was so much I had to learn, and I'm still learning so much. But yeah, it was just kind of, I would try cosplay and we would put it up and see kind of how it worked. And again, I was following these other cosplayers. Okay, like, you know, and I would reach out to, and I made a couple of friends, and like, what did you do for editing this or da da da? And you just kind of learn along the way, and yeah, and I just kind of put it out there, and I hope that it's successful. So
That's awesome. And so you're fairly new to the anime and manga world as well, like 2018, that's not too long
hmm
ago.
I know
Um,
it's not too long ago.
which is like great. I love people getting into like
Yeah.
joining the club. Like,
Uh
hello,
huh.
welcome. Everyone should be
Exactly.
watching and reading.
Exactly. And I wish that I grew up with it because, like, my brother, he's been an anime fan since he was a child because he grew up with it, right? Like Dragon Ball Z. And a lot of girls that I know that grew up with it grew up with like Sailor Moon, And I remember seeing like Pokemon like on and like Yu-Gi-Oh, like on the TV at like Aftercare when I was growing up. But you don't even know it's anime because it's dubbed, right? So you just think it's a cartoon. But once I discovered anime in 2018, I mean, I always knew it existed. But once I started watching it, I was like, it changed my life. It changed my life. But yeah, so I still am fairly new, but I've watched so many hours of like many. There's still a whole bunch more that I need to see, but but I think I've done some homework. I've put in a lot of effort. So even though I'm new, I still have like a decent idea of what's going on in the anime world, I guess.
Yeah. What was it that kind of like switched that for you into like what was that moment? What was the anime that really drew you in?
Um, so my first anime was Darker Than the Franks, which that anime was a wild ride. All my first animes were wild rides, but it was good. I didn't love it, but I was intrigued enough. I was like, you know what, like let me watch another one, and then I watched a couple more similar. And then I happened upon, I think it was Berserk and Attack on Titan were the two that really, especially Berserk, like and it was the '90s anime that I watched, and it was beautiful. Like, but they have you thinking the whole anime is about to be this, and then the last episode, child, I had no idea what I had got myself into, and I was a mess. But like going up to the music, the characters, like, and even though the '90s anime, I mean, it's like an aesthetic, right? Like the '90s anime, um, it was like it's art, right? And
Yeah.
I have like a background in theater, so I've always been kind of artsy. And I was just like, this is beautiful, and I never like even really acknowledged this like medium, right?
Mm,
Before. And then Attack on Titan too. That show was crazy. It was the third season. They were coming out with the third season, I think, when I first started watching Attack on Titan. And beautiful too. And music in anime is also what really drew me in. Music
yeah.
in. Mhm.
What are you reading or watching at the moment?
So I'm rewatching Mob Psycho right now because I love that anime. It's so good. I love One Punch Man. Because I love a good like carefree, super powerful without even needing to try character.
Yeah.
So I love One Punch Man, and and I love funny animes. Like I've seen a whole bunch of really dramatic ones, and I like dramatic animes. But at the end of the day, like I want to watch something funny. So I love One Punch Man, and the art style's hilarious. So people were like, "Oh, you should watch Mob Psycho." So I'm rewatching that right now. And then reading, I guess the two kind of shonen mangas that I'm reading are Don to Don, which is still fairly new. Or I know it's still like the English translated version is still like coming out. It's really good. I did do a cosplay from that, and it was actually pretty popular because not that many people know about it. So that was lucky. Um, and also Spy Family, which they're making an anime in 2020, or excuse me, in
Yeah.
2022.
I've been
So that'll
recommended
be.
Spy Family. People are like, you'll love
It's
Spy
so
Family.
good. It's so good, and it's funny and like, but it's so action packed. But it's still kind of episodic, which I love a good like semi-episodic anime or manga. And yeah, it's so good. Characters, storyline, especially the characters, like because
Mm.
that'll I'll watch an anime sometimes like just for the characters. The storyline will be like okay, but yeah, characters 10 out of 10. Like it was really good writing. So I'm really excited for the anime to come out.
Nice.
Mhm.
And take us through your cosplay process. How do you first decide on what character you're going to cosplay and then start putting the look together?
Um, so I have like a huge list in my phone. I think like I first started watching anime and I knew immediately that I wanted to cosplay, but I guess I didn't really have the guts. I didn't really know what I was doing, right? But I was like, it would be so cool if I could like dress up as this character. So when I decided to finally cosplay, like I have this super long list. So coming up with people to cosplay is not a problem for me as of right now. But yeah, I just kind of go through the list, and I actually it's kind of toxic, but I have so many cosplays that I put together like at one time, and then just kind of whatever I'm feeling or what animes are coming out at the time. So I just did like an Aaron cosplay for Attack on Titan because the new season just dropped. Because I was gonna do Envy from Full Metal Alchemist, but then I was like, oh, Attack on Titan dropped, so that kind of affects it too, like what animes are coming out. Um, But yeah, it really depends on the cosplay. If it's a character, so like the character from Dan that doesn't have an anime and it's still a fairly new manga, you can't really buy the cosplay because it doesn't really exist yet. So that I just kind of put together. I mean, she wears like kind of a schoolgirl outfit, so that I just kind of put together like just online shopping. Some cosplay I just buy the full thing. If it's kind of complicated and I know, and like, because sometimes I'll do a cosplay where it's more like makeup, and the photos I'll take will be more of my face. So like pain, right? Like that was more like concentrated on my face, and then it was just the cloak that he wears, right? But there's some characters like that I just kind of concentrate on the face, and so I'll buy items from the cosplay outfit, but not necessarily all of them because I'm like, well, you're not going to see the shoes, or something like that. But then other cosplays, so if it's a character that I like adore, I'm like, I need this full outfit, right? Like, so that affects it. And I don't make any of my cosplays yet, but I've started making props. I'll make props sometimes. So that's kind of a fun like arts and crafts thing kind of do, but there's not really like a process. You just kind of like, okay, what items do I need? What wig do I need? Do I need special makeup? And then some things too, and because I've gotten better at editing, I'll be like, okay, this item that they have or this sort of characteristic, I'll just edit that in, which has been cooler. And I've been able to do cooler cosplays, since I've started like editing, I guess.
Mm.
But yeah, but it's really fun to put it all together, and like my Amazon wig will come, and I'm like, oh my god, I'll try it on and take pictures and stuff, and but yeah, it's super fun because I was a theater kid, so I've been loving stuff like this. Like
Yeah.
I've been meaning to do this for so long, but yeah, so this is like pretty straightforward. But again, I put together so many cosplays like at one time. So sometimes I'll like stress out myself because I'm like, okay, I have this wig for this, and then I have this, glasses for this, and this eye makeup, and this piercing, and da da da. But my room is a mess. It's just full of like cosplay stuff. But yeah, but it's especially the wigs. I think like do all the wigs has been like kind of a fun thing that I've been getting into.
Yeah. And what's been your most challenging cosplay so far? And what did you learn from it?
Kind of challenging in their own way. Oh, you know what it was? It was Power. And I actually deleted her from my Instagram. So Power from Chainsaw Man. I read Chainsaw Man and I'm so excited for the anime. Have you read Chainsaw Man, heard about Chainsaw Man?
No.
It's so good. Girl, you gotta read it. But it's an emotional roller coaster. Like I was sobbing by the end. Um but she was difficult because her eyes are like very specific. So I ordered the contacts for her, which were great, but you like can't see out of them because they're like crosses. And so what some people do is they edit in the eyes. But I wanted for the videos too to have the contacts, right? Or to have the eyes. So that's why I bought the contacts. But it was really difficult taking her pictures and her videos because I couldn't see through the contacts. So that was difficult. And so I'm gonna redo Power because I just didn't like how the photos came out. So she was kind of hard. The outfit was great. And the wig I liked at the time, but now looking back, I'll do a different wig. And that happens sometimes. I'll do something, I'll be really excited about it, and then I'll look back at it. A couple weeks later, I'm like, it could have been. So Power, I think, was the hardest one I've done, just because I couldn't see what I was doing.
So, what's an interesting cosplay memory or reaction? It could be funny, weird, surprising that you've had from your social media.
Mm, Shell, when I did Shell from Road to El Dorado, I wasn't I thought I did a decent job. But it was really popular and I wasn't expecting for it to be that popular. Um so like that was cool. That was like a nice reaction. And I guess
Oh,
Oh,
no.
yeah. Oh, wait. It's because it did it on the computer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here we go again. Now we're on the
There we
computer. We're
go.
on the computer. But when I started doing, I started doing cosplay, right? And I would do cosplay videos like reveals before and after. But then I started messing with, I saw on TikTok people would do kind of like funny videos about anime characters, and so I love to laugh. So I was like, what if I tried some of this? And they were pretty popular. So that was good. I was like, thank God people think I'm funny because I think I'm hilarious. So I was just happy that other people were laughing with me. But so that was like a cool and fun reaction to that I wasn't expecting. Because some of the videos I will have a cosplay on, and then the other characters won't. I'll just have like some sort of characteristic, right? Like where you could tell what the character is. But yeah, I think that was probably like that was something that I didn't really expect that those would be a hit. Trying to these like funny videos that I make. But
Mm.
other than that, everything's been kind of like normal.
Cool. And what have you learned about yourself from cosplaying?
That I'm very detail oriented. I always realize I'll post something and then I'm like, oh, I could have done that, or I should have edited that a little bit more. Da, 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 da. You know what I mean? To make it like almost the exact replica. Because I don't always try to look exactly like the character. Sometimes I'll, like this will be a little bit different. But I still do try to keep, I guess, as close as I can to the character. What else? I guess just like the joy that I have that I'm finding again that I had like growing up, like it's
Oh,
what it is,
you're
like theater,
breaking
right? I
up.
mean, you're like dressing up and then you're I'm breaking I'm breaking up. Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
Okay, yeah, you seem a bit better now. Yeah.
Can you hear me okay? This Wi-Fi is not doing what I want it to do. But yeah, just kind of finding the joy of like the kind of artsy stuff that I would do as a kid. Again, so that was kind of something that because I forgot about it, like all
Yeah.
these years. So that was kind of fun too.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds really lovely. Um, what do you have any best tips for cosplaying on a budget?
Mm, Usually, okay. So there are some cosplays where I think they're called like closet cosplays, where you just kind of put them together with what you have in your closet. Gojo can be like, because there's one scene where he kind of wears like a suit, and he has just those round glasses. He's not always wearing the blindfold, so that can be kind of a good like closet cosplay. I guess you have to do the white wig, but that's like $20 or something. One that I've seen, I haven't done it yet, but I want to do. Did you ever see Kiki's Delivery Service?
Yes,
Did you?
love
Yeah,
Kiki's delivery service. We actually done a
yeah,
podcast on that a podcast
yeah.
episode on that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I've seen that cosplay because that's you kind of like the red bow and then kind of just like the blue dress, right?
Mm,
So that one I've seen. That's a good one to do on a budget. For the most part, like My Hero Academia characters aren't super expensive. If you get into like the battle suits, like Bakugo, like the big, like that can be unless you're really crafty, and you make all of that. Because like on Etsy, they sell the actual cosplays for like $70 to $100, but they sell like the instructions and the cutouts and everything to make your own for like $10.
mm.
So if you're good with your hands, you can do a lot of cosplays on a budget.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'd say maybe like My Hero Academia. Those are pretty like decently priced ones.
Nice. And so, if time, money, and patience were no object, what would be your ultimate dream cosplay?
Ooh, probably Tsukiya from Gentama. Gentama is my favorite anime of all time, and Tsukiya is on my list. But her hair is very. I would want to make sure it looks good because it's blonde first of all. So I would want to do not just like an Amazon blonde wig, like some where it looks kind of more natural, right? And it's kind of like up, and she has these cool like the kind of ninja like spikes, not the shuriken, not those, but it's like these ones, right? Kind of like in her hair, 'cause she's like a ninja. And then her cosplay is the whole outfit is like really cool. So to do her, I'd almost want to do like a shoe, right? Where you can do the shoes and you have like a background and all that too. Probably Tsukiya from Gentama or some other Gentama characters. But yeah, I think as of right now, yeah, I think I'd want to do Tsukiya from Gentama.
Oh, and last question, but what can we expect to see from G.Sus in 2022? Are there any cosplays in mind or conventions that you want to go to?
So I'll definitely go to the convention again in Houston. Would love to go to other conventions. I know there's like a big one in California. There's a big one in New York. I think there's a big one like in Atlanta too. That would be really cool. I don't know if I'll make it in 2022, maybe 2023. But yeah, just like some good cosplays. I'm posting one a day. I just did. Well, I guess I won't say it. You'll see when I post it. But yeah, like so definitely I'll be at the convention. And just some just good character. Like I said, I have a super long list. And I'm especially excited. I really like cosplaying boys. And then usually I keep everything the same, but then I'll put like a long wig with it or something. So, but I'm trying to get better at even making them look a little bit, not quite femme, but just kind of androgynous looking, right? But yeah, so some kind and editing. I really want to work on editing in 2022. So. But yeah, so that's what you can expect.
So, Anime Expo is a recommendation that's just been put in chat for you. So, yeah.
Hey there, I'm Nigel from mayamada. Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the other great videos we have on the channel. You can also join the GamePad Discord and check out the next event at gamepad.events. We'll see you soon.